Hello again and welcome to another Tech Tips video from Learn Electrics. Today we will talk about consumer units and in particular about split load types and how the different parts of the assembly are connected to each other. We are covering the basics and not going into too much technical detail. There are other Learn Electrics videos that go more in depth. This is one of a series of videos on consumer units, and we will cover most types of consumer units with these videos. As I said, we're starting with split load types, and in later videos we will include high integrity boards, consumer units with only one RCD or no RCDs, and the older BS3036 types. So let's begin. If we start at the outside of a typical consumer unit, what do we see? There is often a lot of information that can help us. Sometimes this information is just inside the front cover. There should be contact details for the last electrician that worked on the installation or carried out an inspection. Any electrician that is worth his salt will have no problem leaving his details. He will want you to call him if you want more work doing. He will want you to pass on his details to your friends. Also, the date of the last inspection should be clearly labelled along with the next inspection date. Warning labels as appropriate may be displayed. If an RCD is fitted, as with this example, there should be a label advising that the RCD button should be pressed every 6 months to prove that the device is working correctly. This used to be a 3-monthly test, so your label may still say every 3 months, but 6 monthly is the new norm. Finally, all new consumer units from 2018 should be of metal construction. Older consumer units were often constructed of plastic. If your plastic consumer unit is still functioning correctly and safely, then you do not have to change it for a metal one. Please do not be fooled into paying some unscrupulous electrician for a consumer unit change that is not required. Fortunately, these cowboys are few and far between. If in doubt, get a second opinion from a registered electrician. If we lift the cover, we will see lots of switches. Don't be intimidated by them. We're about to explain the functions of each type in a nice, easy fashion. On the right of this board is a big red switch, the main switch. It may be on the left on some boards. Now, this board is called a split board. It is split into 2 halves, clearly visible in the photo. You can see 2 RCDs, and these control half of the circuit each, hence split load. The load is split between the 2 RCDs. And then we have the circuit breakers for the individual circuits. Let us look at some of these parts before we see how they are all connected together. The big red switch or main switch controls all the electric coming into the property. Turn this switch off and all of the house will lose power. Everything will go off. If in doubt, if things are really bad, then this is the switch to turn off. It will stop all electrical flow into the property. Next to the main switch, we have an RCD and another RCD halfway along the row. To give them their full name, these residual current devices work in tandem with the circuit breakers. They give additional protection to the occupants of the building. It's a bit like having seat belts and airbags in your car. Each RCD, in the case here, controls one of 2 separate circuits. The board is split into 2 parts each with its own RCD. An RCD can be easily identified by the T for test button on the front. Every RCD type device will have a test button. At Learn Electrics, we always encourage householders to press the test button every 6 months to check that it is functioning correctly. When the test button is pressed, a simulated fault is put across the RCD and it should operate almost instantly. It is proof to you that the device is working correctly and that you are being protected from electric shocks. If it does not work, it is essential that you call an electrician to have it checked out. Of course, when you press the button, all the electrics will go off for that part of the property, so that cooker clocks and microwave clocks will need resetting. But that is a small price to pay to know that you are being kept safe. Finally, we can move on to the circuit breakers, sometimes called MCB for miniature circuit breaker. These protect one circuit each, such as the cooker circuit or the lighting circuit. There are lots of different ratings for these devices. For example, the cooker will be rated at 32 amps. So will a socket ring circuit. Lighting does not require much power and is often rated at just 6 amps. If we look at all these devices as a simple schematic, we get something like this. This might look a little overwhelming right now, but worry not. The next few slides will make this very easy to understand and simple to follow. We begin with the main switch. Power to the main switch comes in from the outside world, shown here as a black cable on the far right of this slide. Next, we have an RCD labelled RCD number 1. This RCD is connected to the main switch, so let's show this with the red cable. After RCD number 1 are the circuit breakers for the first half of the property. These are connected to the RCD, and we can show these connections as orange cables. That is the first half of our split load consumer unit. RCD number 2 is also connected to the main switch, and the circuit breakers for the second half of the house are connected to RCD number 2. Now that we have connected everything together, let's look at how the electricity will flow through the consumer unit. We can turn the main switch on, shown here with a red tick for on. For clarity, we have left the neutral and the earth cables off these schematics. If power can get through the main switch, it can reach RCD number 1. And if RCD number 1 is on, then power will also get to all the circuit breakers attached to it. If everything is okay, then these will allow electricity to flow to the sockets, the cooker and the first floor lights. And this same scenario is repeated for RCD number 2 and its circuit breakers. Power is delivered to the kitchen sockets, the ground floor lights and the kitchen lights. What happens if we create a few problems? Let's begin by turning off the main switch. At this point, you need to be aware that switches and breakers often show the colour red for on, red for danger, electricity is present, and they show green for off. So we will keep the same colour code for our ticks and crosses. Red is on, green is off. If the main switch is off, then no power reaches either of the two RCDs. If the RCDs have no power, then neither do any of the circuit breakers. The whole house is dead. If the main switch is off, then everything else is off. Let us now look at how the RCD will control the flow of electricity. The main switch is on, so electricity or power will flow to both RCDs. But RCD number 1 is off. It has detected an earth fault on one of the circuits that is attached to it. Because RCD 1 is off, no electricity can flow through it. This means that all the circuit breakers attached to RCD 1 are without power. They are all dead. However, RCD 2 has power, and that RCD is still on. This means that all the circuit breakers on RCD 2 will remain on. That is why this is called a split load consumer unit. If one RCD trips, only half the house is lost. There is still power through to the other RCD. Return to our schematic. If something goes wrong with the cooker circuit, let's say a short circuit between the phase and neutral, only the circuit breaker for the cooker will operate. It will trip and turn off the power to the cooker and nothing else, just the cooker. As it is not an earth fault, both RCDs stay on, and so do all the other circuits in the house except the cooker circuit. And that is all there is to it. You may wish to save this Learn Electrics video and review it a couple of times if all this is new to you. In essence, all we have is a big red switch that controls everything. Then we split the circuit into two and install two RCDs, one for each half of the installation. And then from each RCD there are several circuit breakers that are protecting individual circuits. We hope you've enjoyed watching this video from Learn Electrics and that you have added some knowledge to your mental toolbox. Look out for our other videos on different types of consumer units and also on all aspects of electrical work, installations, testing and fault finding. Just type in Learn Electrics, all one word, to find us. If you click the subscribe button below, you will have access to all our other videos and you will not miss our next weekly video. Subscribing also helps us too. Thank you for watching and we hope to see you again very soon.